Amen. Let's grab our seats. It's so good to see you. Like I said, I really hope it's been a good weekend so far. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've celebrated and had the festivities. We had an Easter egg hunt with our kids yesterday, and we began to see that, kids are beautiful. You begin to see the personalities develop. You also start to see where some personalities you don't want, like violence. When there's eggs and they need to fight over it, I can already start to see that sin is in our nature because, it's rough out here. We had my little sister's daughter, my niece, with us as well. It's so beautiful to celebrate a weekend like this, and I hope you've had a beautiful one as well. As I was reflecting on the reality of this and just preparing, something I realized was this, is that to most people, we kind of celebrate Easter traditionally because if you've grown up in the Christian faith or you've been exposed to it, you kind of just know that this is Easter. However, if you give a bit of thought to it, so if you the kind of person that is largely logical, if you really think about things a lot, then you would realize that a weekend like this is actually, it's a bit hard to believe. It's not as easy as 1, 2, 3. It takes a bit of thought. It's one of those weekends where it's a bit too good to be true, Have you ever had one of those too good to be true offers? Like, we've had a few of them over our lives. We've had people offer us, cars and like, no, we'll sell you this for this price. And you're like, no ways, dude. That thing must be stolen. Like, you can't trick me with that, I don't know if you've ever had those. Like, I know every Monday morning, without fail, I will have an email in my inbox explaining to me that I've won the UK lottery. Like, not even the South African one, the UK one. It's in pounds, so it's good. Like, do you get those as well? It's not just me? Okay, so all of us are more richer than we think. If that money can just come, it must just hurry up, Or not that. There's another one that I love. It's where they tell me that I've got a long-lost relative that died and they couldn't locate Listen, guys, we are sitting on a gold mine here. Like, I just wish, sometimes, that moment where you're like, it's too good to be true, nah? But then you have a moment where you're like, but is it though? Is it real? Listen, it's plausible. Like, my grandmother was from the Tswana tribe. I'm sure there was someone in the, in the chief. I'm like, this can be true, But then your senses kick in. You're like, this is too good to be true. And that's the reality. The resurrection is indeed too good to be true. If you think about it, let's just break it down from just a logical point of view. Just apply a bit of thought. The resurrection of someone from the dead really is implausible. Can we just for a second, can we start there? That just that thought alone is like, For those who are living in the first century, this is a big deal because many people had claimed to be some sort of Messiah, some sort of Savior. So it wasn't unfamiliar for them to have seen someone like Jesus and for them to have heard someone claim to be what he claims. The only difference is that those people at some point died. And here comes Jesus and he dies, and the thought of him being raised from the dead is like, hang on, man. I don't know if I can do this. The second thing which I find really fascinating is that Jesus' choice of person to reveal the resurrection to was a woman. Like, you really need to understand, this was a very chauvinistic culture, very chauvinistic. The fact that he would let this news be first seen by a woman, not just any woman. If you read the account, you'll realize the woman that was there was a woman named Mary Magdalene. If you know the account, if you read further back, you realize Mary Magdalene was one of the women who Jesus had cast 7 demons out of. I don't know how you feel about the spiritual world and angels and demons, but for those of us who do, that's a big deal. 1 demon is bad enough. 7, listen, you must have done some stuff. So 7 demons he cast out of her. Can you imagine this woman who everybody knows has a bit of a past? He cast 7 demons out of her. She comes back. She says, Jesus has risen. The first response is, those demons came back. And they came back properly. Like, can you hear what you're saying? Lady, let's just talk. Also, the second thing is this is what's fascinating, is that the word of woman in that day and age was not believed because it wasn't normal that the testimony of a woman was taken into consideration. So in a normal Roman court of law, if a woman saw a crime and she chose to testify, she would not be allowed to, because women were not allowed to testify in court. So the word of a woman carried absolutely zero value. But here comes along Jesus, and he's like, you will be the ones to take this message to my brothers. He says, go and tell my brothers that I've been raised from the dead. That's amazing in and of itself. So there's so many other things that we can think about. I mean, we can think about the people that have seen him. Just think about for a second, the crucifixion happened publicly, not privately, right? Everybody in Jerusalem knew what happened on that weekend. In fact, one account, John's account, I think it is, or might have been Luke, tells us that two of the disciples are walking towards Jerusalem, and Jesus appears to them after the resurrection, and they can't recognize him. So he asks them, what are you guys talking about? And they are surprised, like, dude, have you not heard what's happened? Where have you been all weekend? So this was pretty much common knowledge, right? That this has happened. So he was crucified publicly, but the crazy thing for me is, upon his resurrection, he doesn't make it as public. He appears to a few people, and he gradually appears to more and more. Look, this is one of those times like, if I were Jesus, which I'm glad I'm not, but if I were Jesus, I would pick the weekend where most people are gonna be, and I would just show them. I mean, if the resurrection was one of the greatest displays of God's power, wouldn't you want to do it at the time where it has maximum effect? Like, just think about that. Where most people are going to be, when they're in the temple, when they're worshiping, singing, whatever they're doing. I just have that moment where, okay, Marvel fans, like Thor, when like, boom, and like, bah, Jesus. And you're like, yo, like, or at least like, if this were like normal South Africa, I'd do it like on a Soweto Derby weekend. Like, think about it, Chiefs and Pirates, it's nationalized, everybody's watching, in the middle of the field, boom, Jesus rocks up, like, yo, it's going to be on TV everywhere. Like, I would do it then, like, maximum effect. If it's in the States, Super Bowl weekend, big deal, World Cup final, boom. Like, I'd do something like that, just like, yeah, I'll show them. They must know. And then Jesus comes like very subtly, like, it's like, Ita. Like, just very, like, inconspicuous, That for me shows that Jesus doesn't work the way we do. He doesn't think the way we do. He's very intentional, right? He doesn't think the way we do. He just doesn't work the way we expect him to. See, if the resurrection really is one of the greatest signs, then for most people it would be a great external sign, a physical sign. But maybe for Jesus, the resurrection was one of the greatest spiritual victories that we can imagine. Because for him it wasn't so much the, hey, look, my body is back. For him it was what he conquered spiritually. It was one of the greatest spiritual victories ever witnessed. Church, we need to understand that the resurrection was, for those who maybe seemed skeptical, this was a moment where the spiritual world was turned upside down. This was a moment where the powers of hell and darkness ceased to exist. This was a moment when God did his best work by showing everything he did in Jesus. And then he raised him from the dead. I mean, that in itself is phenomenal. God demonstrated victory over death, victory over sin, victory over the kingdom of darkness, victory over its rulers, victory over the power of hell and over sin that keeps us captive, victory over everything that rules over us spiritually. So for Jesus, this wasn't about the physical display. Even though he did that, where most of us would have done that, Jesus says, no, something else happened, something deeper, something that you can't quantify, you can't explain away, you can't just think about it philosophically. It's something that you have to experience. That's what happened this weekend. And this is why for many of the first century Christians, they didn't have much of an apologetic to point to other than the resurrection of Jesus. The resurrection of Jesus was their main apologetic. Apologetics is simply the defense of the Christian faith. It means that for them, the only thing they could use to prove why they believe what they believed, they pointed to the resurrection. Today, we've got all sorts of other things. We've got philosophy and we've got archaeology and people dig and find beautiful things and shows that the Bible is true. But for them, they just had one guy they could point to and say, that guy. Listen, if you can predict that you will die and be raised, I'm following you. I don't care who you are. Like, I'll be there. Like, I'll give you a lift to where you need to go. I'll swipe for you. Like, I'll do what you need to. Like, you've convinced me. For them, they just had one guy, Jesus. And every time they were asked, why do you believe what you believe? Christianity is maybe just a sect of Judaism. This is just a little cult. Why do you believe this? Like, no, let me tell you about this guy who said he was going to do something. And like many other people, they also said it, but this guy actually did it. And he did. Look at what 1 Corinthians chapter 15 says. It is this good news that saves you. if you continue to believe the message I told you. Unless, of course, you believed something that was never true in the first place. And of course, we know that's not true. I passed on to you what was most important and what had also been passed on to me. Christ died for our sins, just like the scripture says. He was buried, just like the scripture says. And he rose from the dead, or he was raised from the dead on the third day, just as the scriptures said. And then Paul does what most Jewish people would do, or Jewish Christians would do at that time. He points to eyewitnesses. He said, he was seen by Peter and by the 12. After that, he was seen by more than 500 of his followers at one time, most of whom are still alive, although some of them have died. Then he was seen by James and later by the apostles. So you need to understand, for this first century Jewish culture, eyewitness accounts were one of the most credible sources. They didn't have like Twitter like we do, or like newspapers, right? So they relied on the witness of eyewitness accounts. So when Paul writes this, what he's saying is, guys, if you don't believe this, go ask the people who were there. Those people are still alive. He says some of them might have died, but the rest of them, they live in your communities. They've seen it. Go ask them. So largely for the first 50, 60 years after Jesus' resurrection and ascension, the resurrection was very seldomly challenged. It was only after the main people who witnessed it started dying that people were like, did it really happen though? So here's what we need to realize, church, is that the truth of the gospel is incomplete without the resurrection. It is incomplete. You're getting half a version of the gospel. For many people, it starts on Friday with Jesus dying for our sins, that brutal death that we deserved, yet Jesus made a way. So the Friday is important. However, we forget the Sunday. And here's the challenge I've realized is for many people, they live in that gap between Friday and Sunday. Just for a second, go back and just imagine what it must have felt like on the Saturday when the very guy you've been following for 3 years, the guy you've put your hope in, the guy you've witnessed raise people from the dead, the guy you've witnessed do incredible things, and you're thinking, this is that guy. This is the one we've pictured. Yes! And Friday happens, and he dies. And you're thinking, okay, he's just going to die for a little bit, then he'll come back, and then we're going to be amazing. No. He dies, and he stays dead for a while. Can you imagine what Saturday feels like? Can you imagine that hopelessness? Can you imagine that defeat? This man, I thought he was the one. I know so many people who live in that moment between Friday and Sunday. They live in the Saturday where it just feels like there's no hope going forward. It feels like everything you've put your hope in has crumbled down. It just feels like you constantly live with that disappointment, that defeat, that anxiety. It feels like you're living in that space between Friday and Sunday. But can I remind us that the good news is incomplete without Sunday? The nice thing is that we know how it ends. They didn't. They had his word, but they had no idea if this would actually happen. Thankfully, we know how it ends. And we know, hey, Sunday always comes. No matter what we're going through in life right now, Sunday always comes. God is a God of resurrection. He will raise things again in us, right? There's always a Sunday coming. Whatever season you're in, can I encourage you? A day like today is a witness that there's always a resurrection in Jesus, right? The reason why the gospel is incomplete without the resurrection is because of what the resurrection means in our daily lives. See, this isn't just one moment we point back at. It's not just one account. The beautiful thing about the resurrection is that it's an everyday thing. We get to live the resurrection life. We get to experience it. It's not just something we read about and look back and say, okay, it happened then, but this is now. No. Every day we get to experience it. Let me just share a few truths with you. The first one is this. The resurrection gives us access to a new life. It gives us access to a new life. And maybe you're one of those people that say, look, I don't really need a new life. I've got an okay life for now. See, we might not understand the weight of what this did. Because for Jesus, a new life isn't simply just something that happens on the surface. It's something that happens beneath the surface. It's what he does inside of us. That newness that he brings. Just like he was raised to life, there are things in our lives that can be raised to life as well. Have a look at what Romans 6 says. For we died and were buried with Christ by baptism. So baptism is a symbol, it's a sign. There's something symbolic about going underneath the water. It shows that I'm dying to something, and then being raised from the water says, hey, something new is being birthed. So it's this whole symbolic sign of the death and resurrection of Jesus. For those of you getting baptized today, this is a big deal. Don't skip over it, don't skim over it, okay? And if you haven't yet been baptized, maybe you've been waiting and sussing it out, can I encourage you? You need to do this. This is an important thing. It's a spiritual act. It goes on, it says, just as Christ was raised from the dead by the glorious power of the Father, now we also may live new lives. Listen, this is not just a quick revamp. Have you ever had someone just do a quick revamp on something? Like, I grew up in a neighborhood where there were a lot of backyard mechanics. Like, in every colored community, there's someone who can do it cheaper, right? And so it's like, no, come on for your slime, come. And then there's always like someone who can, but then when they do it, it's not new, it's not good. It's just like, the other guy messed it up. So what I had to do is I had to do this and put that and weld that. And you're like, bro, you just made my car worse. What just happened? There's always a plumber who wants to do something backyard. But here's the beautiful thing. With the resurrection, this is not a quick patch job. This is a newness. Remember the show Pimp My Ride? Ever seen that? Where they take like some old scrap and they just make it look new, but it's like, man, this is something else. The beautiful thing about this is your life isn't just pumped up by Jesus, not pump my spiritual life. This is a new life that Jesus gives. It means that if something is new, it's vastly different to what was before, right? It's radically different. It's not the same thing. If Jesus enters our lives, if you and I choose to follow him, that means that our lives change. It doesn't still stay the same, and it's like just add Jesus, but carry on with what you're doing. No, something has to change inside of us. One of the biggest witnesses for the resurrection was what happened in the disciples afterwards. These men were predominantly timid. Some of them wouldn't speak publicly. Some of them denied him. Like, we know what they were like. They sometimes doubted him. These guys were kind of like, witnessing this thing, but he couldn't count on them. Yet after the resurrection, you see them standing up in boldness, declaring their faith. The first one to die for his faith was Stephen, and he got stoned by a religious crowd. In that moment, he said, listen, after what I've seen, do what you want to me. That is radical change. Not just coming and saying, you know what, guys, can we just talk about this? Can we negotiate? Can I try and convince you? No, listen, do to me what you will. I know that the resurrection means that I will rise again with him. It's fine. That is a radical change. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 3. It says, praise be to God, the Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. In his great mercy, he has given us a new birth. Right? A new birth into a living hope. Through the resurrection of Christ from the dead. See, Peter understands what many people didn't. We shouldn't take this thing of being born again lightly. One of the biblical characters, Nicodemus, he struggled with this. He was one of those guys that steps back and thinks about it. He's like, how can you be born again? He's like, that phrasing. So I have to go back into my mother's womb. He challenged Jesus, like, do I have to go back in and be born again? Jesus is like, no. This is a spiritual thing, not a physical thing. You are born again spiritually. Your spirit is revived again. Something new is being birthed in that moment when we respond to Jesus. You are becoming a new person. For many of us who have grown up in the Christian faith and maybe have been familiar, maybe if you're someone on the outskirts and you're looking in, or maybe you're not familiar with Christianity, can I encourage you, this step is vital in how you proceed in your life. If you look at popular psychology, they will theorize what happens, and they'll maybe make certain suggestions, like, in order to do that, you might need to apply this or do that or think about this. So they'll give you steps and tools. If you look at a lot of the self-help books that you read, a lot of them will tell you what you can apply. Apply this, apply that, and that's how you get there. The crazy thing about salvation and what Jesus does is none of this can be done apart from what he does on the inside. See, popular psychology might be good in giving us tools on how to do stuff, but it doesn't make us new on the inside, right? Self-help books are great. I like some of them are absolute rubbish, but some of them are really good. In that moment, they can give you tools, but they can't make you new. Yeah. What they are good at is telling you what to do after you've been made new. How to exercise things like discipline or manage your time or whatever. Those things are great, but they still can't make you new. Yeah. See, everything in our culture works from the outside in. Do this, do that, and this will be the result. Jesus says, hang on, we need to start from the inside out. If you start in here, everything else follows suit. This is what makes Jesus such a unique figure in all of history, such a unique deity. He's one of the only ones that truly works from the inside, dealing with that sin and deceit and corruption inside of us, and then brings it out to life. We get to live in that resurrection power every single day That's the beautiful thing about this church. The second thing that the resurrection does for us is that it gives us access to a supernatural power. Not only does it give us a new life, but once we've got the new life, it's not like Jesus says, okay, here's the new life, go sort it out yourself. No, he says, okay, I've given you a new life, now I want to empower you to live that new life. So he does everything on our behalf. I've given you a new life, let me empower you. You know, I love being empowered to do something. This is why I like fast cars. I love cars with turbo. You just hear that, brr, brr, you're like, yeah, that's power there. Why? It empowers you to go faster. I'm like, Jesus, help me. To be empowered to do something is such a beautiful thing. When Jesus was on earth, when he lived his earthly life, he understood that he was limited. Being God in a human body, he was limited in time and space and movement, right? He could only be at certain places at a certain time. And he knew that, hey, this is going to be limiting. So he said to his disciples, guys, I need to leave. When the power of the Holy Spirit comes, he can be in multiple places at once. It will be better for you if I leave, because then you will be empowered. So this resurrection and this ascension of Jesus shows us that we now have a power working within us. This is such good news to those of you, or those of us rather, who might find ourselves being so driven that we are tempted to do things on our own all the time. If you're one of those people, you know what it's like to always carry this weight of having to do it yourself, sort it out yourself, fix it yourself. If you don't do it, it won't get done. So you find yourself being so driven that it all lies on your shoulders. The other side of that is how crazy it is when you look at the outcome and see how many people have used these words to describe where they are at physically or emotionally or mentally. They use the words burnt out. Why? Because we've driven ourselves so hard, because for some reason we've believed that our bodies and our souls are like a machine. You know, like a car can run, and when it's broken, you just quickly service, put some oil, do whatever, and you can keep going. Human beings aren't like that. We weren't designed to do that. We weren't designed to function like machines. And so for you and I, we need to understand that the power God gives us is a power so much outside of ourselves that he empowers us to do the things he's called us to do. And he says, hey, you don't have to do this on your own. You don't have to stress. You don't have to carry this weight alone. You don't have to live with this anxiety, the stress. You don't have to live with this mental challenge or the psychological challenge. You don't have to do that. I've empowered you to do what I've called you to do. I'm the one that empowers you. Therefore, where do we run to as the source of our strength? Is it to the self-help stuff? Is it to things in and of ourselves? Or is it to Jesus? The resurrection shows us that there's a power outside of ourselves that we can run to. Think about it this way. If God can do what he did in Jesus, then surely he can do that in me. See, this act of resurrection wasn't just God saying, guys, check what I can do. Come, let me show you. Boom. Check. Ta-da! Okay, anyways, carry on with life. No. That was an example of, guys, if I can do this, I can do that for you. That's a moment we can look back and say, if God acted that way, if he could resurrect what was dead, how much more can he do that in me? The beautiful thing is that God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So if he did it then, he can do it now. That's the beautiful thing that the resurrection shows us. Romans 8, Paul writes to the Roman church, he said, if the spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you. Just pause there for a second. That same spirit that raised him from the dead lives in you. Church, this is big. Do we live this way? That same spirit is inside of me. Like I don't have to outsource it. I don't have to pay people for it. Listen, we live in South Africa. People pay for all sorts of things. Right? We've got some crazy things happening in our country. If I can simply understand that I don't have to rely on someone externally, that God lives inside of me. He can accomplish all of that in me. Right? He who raised Christ from the dead will also give life to your mortal bodies. Why? Because his spirit lives in you. Jump back 1 or 2 chapters in Romans chapter 6. It says this, and since we died with Christ, we know that we will also live with him. We are sure of this. In other words, we are convinced of this because Christ was raised from the dead. And he will never die again. Death no longer has any power over him. And when he died once to break the power of sin. But now that he lives for the glory of God. So, you also should consider yourselves to be dead to the power of sin and alive to God through Christ. That same life that Jesus lived, where he lived, he died, and he rose again. Paul says, guys, this is pretty much what we went through. We lived apart from God. We lived our own way. We lived with autonomy where we weren't accountable to anyone. And then at some point, that part of us died. And something new was raised to life. And you live a new life. Can we just embrace that new life? Can we live it out every single day? The resurrection teaches us that everything God does breeds life. Think about it. New life, new birth, everything about it speaks life. Here's the thing. For many of us, this concept of a new life, being raised to life, there can be no resurrection without a crucifixion. There can be no raising something to new life if something else isn't willing to die. And for many of us, we might have lived in a space where we are scared to let certain things in our lives die because we're holding on. Right? We're holding on to what could be, what would be, what about, what if. And God is saying, if you could only die to that thing, die to that habit, die to that part of yourself that you've been holding on to, because I want to bring something new out of you. I want to birth something new in you. There's no ways He can bring something new to life if we aren't willing to let something die. What are you willing to let die in your life? We cannot live in the power of the resurrection if we aren't willing to die to something. Here's the thing about the Christian faith. It costs something. And it needs something to die in our lives for God to bring something new to life. Another way of saying it is this. There's no experiencing the power of resurrection life if we aren't willing to let something die in us. If we aren't willing to die for something or let something die in us. That's the only way we're going to experience a new kind of life. Warren Wiersbe, one of the biblical commentators, he wrote an extensive amount of work on just biblical commentary. And one of the things he says this is, we serve a living Christ. Thankfully, not a dead one, a living one, right? And we have a living word. The word of God is a living and breathing word. It's not the kind of word that's like a dictionary where it's just words. No. This brings something to life inside of us. We have a living Christ. We have a living word. Therefore, we have a living hope. And therefore, the church can be known as the church of the living God. Everything God does is about life. He breathes new life. Why? It's simple. A dead Savior cannot save. A dead Savior can't save. Had everything ended on Friday, that would be it. Listen, if everything ended on Friday, we might as well pack up shop, close everything, go to our homes, and carry on living. If everything ended on Friday, it's futile. But because there's a Sunday, it gives us something more to live for. Because a dead Savior cannot save. So this morning, as I wrap up, Romans chapter 7, verse 4. So my dear brothers and sisters, at this point, you've died to the power of the law when you died with Christ. And now you are united with the one who was raised from the dead. And as a result, you get to produce a harvest of good deeds for God. Just for a moment, I want us to just get this concept of what Paul is saying. He says, when we unite ourselves to someone greater than ourselves, we experience a power that is outside of ourselves. Many of us know the concept of being united to something because we normally attach ourselves to so many things. We kind of associate ourselves with so many things. We want to be associated with something bigger, something greater. Why? Because it often brings status. However, Paul says if you want to be associated with something, associate yourself, unite yourself with Jesus because you receive everything that Jesus has. Everything He went through, you went through. When He died, a part of you died. But when He raised to life, a part of you got risen back. And you have a new life. But there's an outcome. There's a cause and effect. The outcome is this, that we now get to live a life of fruitfulness. Not emptiness, not hopelessness, not doubt, not fear, not insecurity. None of that. We get to live a life that breeds good deeds. And so with that being said, can we be the people who live the way God called us to live? Can we be the people who live in the implications of the resurrection? This gives me so much joy because for many people, this might be exactly what you needed to move past that season you're in, where you've been carrying the weight, the worries, the fear, the doubt, the anxiety, the depression, feeling disconnected, feeling empty, feeling hopeless. All of these things might be what you've been feeling. And my prayer is that this morning, that resurrection life would become real to you. That this is not theoretical, this is not philosophical, this is internal. I know where to run, and I know where to draw my strength from. That's what this means for you and I. Are you encouraged this morning?